Start with the experience of high school. You have a schedule, a textbook, a teacher guiding every step, and a clear path to the final exam. But step onto a university campus, and that paved road disappears. You are suddenly expected to navigate on your own. Institutions call this academic independence. It doesn't mean you have to lock yourself in a library and figure everything out in isolation. It means transitioning from receiving information to proactively managing how you learn. By the end of this video, we will build a tangible, proactive learner action plan. We will map out exactly how to take control of your coursework, step by step. To do this, you need to follow along. Open a blank document on your computer right now, or grab a physical notebook and a pen. We tend to treat academic success as a natural talent, but it is actually a deliberate, engineered system. Setting up this plan today is how you survive the transition to higher education. Step 1 is defining what you are aiming for. According to Locke and Latham's research on goal setting, your academic performance is regulated by the conscious, highly specific targets you set for yourself. Look at this comparison. Saying you want to improve your golf game is too vague to act on. To actually make progress, you need a specific target, like lower my handicap from 14 to 11 by improving the accuracy of my approach shots. The same logic applies to your studies. A goal to read my textbooks gives you no clear direction. A measurable goal is committing to read 2 pages a day, and then systematically increasing that amount as your reading speed improves. Look at your notebook. I want you to write down one target for your current course or a specific assignment you are working on. Now audit what you just wrote. Does it contain a hard metric, like a number or a date? Does it describe a specific physical behavior you can measure? If not, rewrite it until it does. Without a defined metric and an attached behavior, a goal is just a wish. And relying on wishes when the workload increases will quickly lead to demotivation and falling behind. Once your targets are set, step 2 is adopting what is called the initiating approach. This is the mindset of actively hunting down literature and filling the gaps in your knowledge, rather than waiting for your tutor to hand you a reading list. We can break this down into a checklist. Item 1. Proactively ask questions about your subject. Item 2. Source your own external materials for your assignments. When you start sourcing that material, you have to avoid the trap of passive reading. You cannot accept everything published online, or even in textbooks, as pure fact. Item 3. Read critically. This source document shows the exact questions to ask. Evaluate if a source is accurate, current, comprehensive, and factual. This distinguishes peer-reviewed research from personal blogs. Notice the sidebar specifically instructs you to search and evaluate using these criteria. Go back to your notebook. Write down 2 specific places you will search for resources for your next assignment. This could be Google Scholar, your university library portal, or a specific academic journal. Adopting this initiating approach changes your role entirely. You transition from a passive receiver of instructions into your own primary filter for determining what is credible and useful. Step 3 addresses a common paradox. Being an independent learner actually requires communication. You cannot operate in a vacuum. You need collaboration to succeed. This is where a formal study network comes in. It is a structured way to share ideas, decode difficult concepts from your reading, and maximize your learning hours outside the lecture hall. But a word of caution. Without a clear structure, a study group quickly devolves into an unproductive social hangout where no real work gets done. To prevent that, your group needs this study network blueprint. It consists of 4 mandatory fields that keep everyone focused. First, the aim and the roles. You need to dictate exactly what the group intends to achieve in a specific session, and who is responsible for tasks, like taking the master notes or leading the discussion. Next, the resources and the schedule. Determine exactly what materials everyone must bring, and establish precisely when, where, and for how long the group will meet. In your notebook, physically draw out these 4 fields. Even if you don't have a group yet, draft out the aim, roles, resources, and schedule you want to establish. Educational research shows that explaining a complex concept to a peer is one of the highest forms of learning. By structuring those interactions, your study network becomes an engine for your own academic mastery. Look at what you have built. You possess a highly specific learning target, a checklist for evaluating sources, and a concrete blueprint for academic collaboration. Academic independence is ultimately a state of mind. If you wait until you feel perfectly ready to start organizing your studies, you will be waiting forever, and progress will stall. So here is your final task. Pick up your phone right now, text 2 classmates from your course, and use your blueprint to schedule a 20-minute meeting. Taking this immediate action is the moment you cross the threshold. You are no longer waiting for instructions. You are an empowered, independent academic.